Hey guys, it's Kenzie. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about something a little bit on more of a serious subject, and that is simply about goal setting. If 2018 was a bust, that's alright. You're on to the next year, so let's get it going and get started with our next goals. I decided to write down 10 boss babe tips that I could give you guys in order to help you achieve your goals. And a lot of them come from my very favorite book that was released this year by Rachel Hollis. It is the Girl Wash Your Face book. This book is awesome. I absolutely love it. She's so real, she's so vulnerable in it, and she really just gives it to you straight. I really can't thank her enough for some of the things that she's taught me and different perspectives that she's given me with my personal self, and then also in a lot of my relationships, especially like my relationship with Trevor. I've definitely gained a different perspective from listening to her podcast and reading her books. So I do want to start off by telling you guys, I write down my goals every single year. At the beginning of the year, I always write them down. I typically will just write them in like my agenda, and that way I can keep reflecting back on it throughout the year as I'm writing down like to-dos and tedious stuff. But I thought I would share some of my goals that I had set for myself in 2018 that I did actually accomplish. I am definitely a goal setter type of person. And so some of these goals are a little bit personal to myself, but I'll just go ahead and read them off. My goals for 2018 were retirement. I wanted $15,000 in my retirement. I wanted to stop biting my nails, which I've done. I have totally done it. It was a very hard habit to break. And I joke with Trevor about it that I think biting your nails is a harder habit to break than doing heroin. Whoa, serious turn. I know, but they say like heroin is the most difficult substance to break. I think it's your nails. These things are always on you, just right then and there, for your nerves, for your anxiety. It's so hard to break the habit because they're just readily available. So stop biting my nails. I wanted to graduate in summer 2018 with my Master's of Health Science and Healthcare Management. I did that. I wanted to start eating healthy, which generally speaking, I'm a pretty healthy eater, but not this last year. Oh my gosh, guys. I have fallen off the wagon so hard, and that's okay. That's okay because you just pick yourself up and move right along. I wanted to graduate debt-free, which I did, and super awesome. I'm gonna have a video on that with my older sister Whitney. She's a financial coach and she's awesome. She has been one of the main reasons why I was able to graduate debt-free. Her knowledge and her wisdom and guiding me along through that was incredible, and I am so fortunate to have someone's brain to pick through that. It can be scary, super scary trying to go through college and not knowing what you should do, what you should not do, and oh my gosh, the whole stress of just finances on top of your school load, and it's crazy. I wanted to pay down my car to under $4,000. I owe just a little bit over $3,000 on it. I need to buckle down and get that paid off. But aside from that, that is essentially my only debt that I do have. And like I said, super fortunate for Whitney and her knowledge through that. I think it's super fun to read back through your goals. In my opinion, I hit it out of the ballpark 2018 as far as my goals. There was some other things which probably could have done better on, but I mean, it was a pretty good year. So my 10 tips that I wanted to share with you guys to really help you get to reach your goals, and I feel like doing these things on a daily basis can set you up to accomplish your goals so much easier. I feel like if you're feeling out of whack and anxious and depressed, or whatever you might be struggling with, it's hard to continue on towards your goals when you have all of these external things just shouting at you. But if you are habitual in your routine, you do it every single day, I feel like that really sets up a good foundation for you to continue on strong towards your goals, even if you're having that bad day. If you've got those habits set in stone, you're more likely to do those things. My 10 Boss Babe habits to develop in 2019 are, I've got them written down for you guys. So plan and organize. Oh my gosh, this is huge. I think one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to plan out your week at the beginning of each week. So sit down, look over what you've got going on, what your week is gonna look like, and strategize. You know, like if you have a partner that can help you out with some of the workload in that, let them know. Be like, hey, on Tuesday, I've got like 20 things I've got to get done and like 10 appointments and life's crazy. Can you unload and load the dishwasher? Like that is a huge lifesaver if you can just communicate those things. I'm trying something new this year and that I'm pretty nervous about actually. I am not doing an actual agenda, which is going to be the first time. I have not done this since like the 7th grade. I am switching my agenda to just Google Calendars. And I'm doing this for a couple reasons. I feel like one, don't always have my agenda on me. 2, I don't always use it. I'm pretty good about it, but I don't always use it. 3, things change so much in my schedule that I hate like scribbling it out and writing something new. And I think it's super convenient in the fact that you can have it on your phone, you know? So if you are out and about, sorry, I'm signing into my computer. I just wanted to show you briefly my schedule. So if you are out and about and you don't have your calendar on you, you always have your phone. I think taking advantage of that might be a good thing. If you guys actually use Google Calendars and you really enjoy it, or you have a different app that you really enjoy and that I should know about, shoot your girl a comment. So if you can't see this, sorry, I know it's kind of weird because it's a screen on a screen, but I have my day planned out basically to the hour, and it's super easy to move. And I do like that I get reminders on my phone of the events that I have coming up and the things that I have planned out for my day. In category 1, I also want to say simplify your current belongings. If you have a house filled of just clutter, I know everyone knows this, you're gonna have a cluttered mind. You can't think straight. If you've got a bunch of shit all over your counters and like your room is just packed high of laundry and your car is a fucking wreck, you're just not gonna be able to think straight. It's harder to think straight when you've got all that chaos around you. So, clean. Keep it clean. Simplify your stuff. I find that that's easiest. Some people, you know, are just naturally a little bit messier. That's okay. I kind of am. But if I don't have as much belongings all over the place, it's harder for me to make that. Go through your stuff, the current things that you have, out with the old, in with the new. I do want to say that some of these are based off like Rachel Hollis's 5 to Thrive. If you guys are familiar with that, I love it. 2, wake up an hour early. Oh my gosh. This is so hard for me. Super, super difficult. But I'm working on it. And I feel like the mornings that I do get up an hour earlier, my day is just set in a completely different tone. I am a lot more productive throughout the days. I'm more productive at work. I come home, I get things done. I just have a more clear mind. That first hour I spend to myself, so that's either 1, recording videos, 2, working out, or just taking my morning slow and easy, drinking my coffee, writing down my goals. I do that every day. 3, drink water. This is also a super difficult one for me because I hate water. I know, I'm so weird. I absolutely despise water. I think it's the grossest thing. I hate drinking it. I try to mix Crystal Light, which I'm trying not to do artificial sweeteners. So it's been a challenge. I have struggled with drinking water. I downloaded an app on my phone, which sends me just like hourly reminders to sip on some water because I will totally forget. I'll get through the whole day and be like, so I drank a pot of coffee today. Does that count? 4, move your body. I think it's so important to move your body at least for 30 minutes a day. Doesn't have to be anything too insane. If you're meal prepping, throw on some Beyonce, dance around in the kitchen, get some moves in. And that's also another struggle that I have. Or just simply go to the gym. I've been really struggling, like I said, to get back onto that. But going to the gym, making your significant other your accountability partner is super helpful. And buckling down, just getting it done. I know not everyone loves going to the gym, but you get to a point where you crave it, honestly. It's crazy, all the endorphins that are released in your brain, and your body physically craves it. 5, say no. Say no. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And I am struggling with that because like this last year, I have wanted to do everything and anything and be there completely for my friends, which I still do. But sometimes like I would put all of my things aside because my friend needed me in that exact moment. And that is super hard for me to just say, no, I can't. I had prior obligations. And it really frees up your schedule. Frees up your schedule so much. But like I said, a lot of my time has been so preoccupied with maybe other people's schedules, dropping everything and running to help someone. And I need to say no. Also in work, in my work life too. Some of my coworkers will come up to me and say, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? And I've got a full plate of work. I just need to learn to say, I can't do it. So I think that's an awesome habit to develop. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. 6, meal prep. Meal prep every single week. Some people make this the most complicated thing ever, and it does not have to be. Super easy. Buy yourself some cheap Tupperware because chances are you're gonna lose them, and just sit down, get it done. It takes me probably 2 hours tops to meal prep for an entire week. I've got this down to a science. All I do is just take some chicken, throw it in the oven, and it may not taste the best, but I feel like I don't really care. I'm just cooking for myself. If I'm cooking for me and Trevor for dinner or something, I'll put a little more effort into it and time. But if it's just for myself, I pop chicken in the oven, let it bake, throw some veggies in there, some asparagus or green beans or Brussels sprouts, and throw them together in a Tupperware. Weigh it out. I do 4 to 6 ounces of meat and then however many veggies I want. And meal prep for the morning. I like to get up in the morning and generally cook. I haven't been. I really need to step it up with that. But I just do egg whites in the morning. I don't typically eat a whole lot of carbs unless I'm eating Buffalo Wild Wings, which is my weakness. I'm a wing connoisseur. You need to know the place to go get wings? Hit me up. I'm your girl. I got these things mapped out. I need to create an app or something of like wings rated 1 to 5 stars. I think it would be a hit. Maybe I've got to develop that. And then just have your meals in the fridge and grab and go. Tip 7. I think it is so important to have a good support system. And I think that is done by starting with yourself. So supporting others in their goals, their craziness, whatever it may be. If you don't agree with it, then step aside. Don't say anything. Like, unless that person is super true and dear to you and your opinion would actually benefit them in some extraordinary way, don't say it unless it does. And just support people. Support one another. I feel like we've grown into such a culture where we're so critical of everything and tear each other apart on so many different levels. Support one another. People go through enough shit. They don't need yours on top of it. 8, no phone first thing in the morning. And that might be hard for some people. I have my alarm on my phone, so obviously I have to get onto my phone to shut the alarm off. But after that, I do not get on social media first thing in the morning. I feel like that kind of dictates how your day goes. It's so hard for some people not to compare themselves to others. And if the first thing you're doing in the morning is waking up and comparing yourself to some girl who's been into fitness for 5 years and has a ripped ass six pack, well, you're gonna be a fat, ugly bitch all day. Honestly. And we get so tied up in that kind of stuff at times. I feel like once you're up and going in your day, you have a little bit of an easier time just being like, okay, whatever, keep scrolling. Like, I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. At least I have an easier time doing that. I think there is one exception to the phone in the morning, and that is to listen to inspirational and motivational podcasts. That can really shape how your day is going to turn out. And listening to podcasts that raise you up and build you and make you a more caring and an inspirational person, that's a good thing to have in your life. If that's the kind of podcast that you're listening to, listen to it. My favorite is Rise by Rachel Hollis. Obviously, I love her book. I love her podcast. I love her couples podcast. I make Trevor listen to it with me sometimes because I think it is just so awesome. She's very encouraging and very uplifting. She's a great resource. And if you haven't heard of her, search her and thank me later. 9, write down 10 things that you're grateful for every single day. This can be super challenging for some people. I challenged my coworker to do this with me. She struggled a lot with it. She was like, how am I supposed to find 10 things throughout the day that I'm grateful for? And I'm like, that's the point. It reshapes your mind to search for those things that you're grateful for. If you are having a hard time listing off 10 things, I can tell you this, I can list off at least like 5 or 6 by the time I get to work in the morning. By the time I drive, sit down at my desk, I usually can sit down and jot down 6 things that I'm grateful for. I was in a super toxic relationship at one point, and I think that relationship had changed the way that I thought about things so much. I was so negative about everything. I completely lost the sense of who I was. And so did he. It was a bad situation. With that, it had made me into a negative and unhappy person. So I developed this habit, and I found myself being pissed off because I woke up late and running to work, speeding down the freeway, to then getting out of my car and seeing another car that a person had that was not as fortunate as I was. I don't drive a nice car by any means. I just drive a Honda, super reliable, and I will probably always buy Hondas. Seeing their car and comparing it to mine and realizing like I just sat there and like bitched the whole way to work. When this person has duct tape as their window and I'm complaining because I was running late to work, but I have a nice car to get me to and from work. So things like that, it really, really does affect the way that you see things. If you're constantly searching for the good in things and how to be grateful in even the most horrible kinds of situations, oh my gosh, your life is going to be changed for sure. Your anxiety, your depression, if you struggle with that, I've been fortunate, I don't, but a lot of my friends do. I think very similar to Rachel, what she says, you cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. If you're constantly searching for those things, you're going to be a lot happier of a person. 10, our last and final tip to be a boss babe in 2019. Write down your goals every single day. Write them down. Write down your huge, audacious, crazy goals and reflect on those. If you write them down just one time a year and then don't reflect back to them, like, why'd you even write them down in the first place? You know, honestly. I have about 12 goals that I write down every single day. I actually have. I just write them down in a normal little tear out page paper and I keep them. I have them since I very first started writing down my goals. Like day 1, day 2, day 3. I write that all down and I reflect back to it. My goals do change as I go through life. So if they do, I just simply update them. But I find this to be super helpful in keeping me focused on what's most important and what I want in life. It creates almost like a barrier a barrier to the things that are horrible and that should not be influenced in your life, because it just gives you that direct and clear sense of focus. I like to wake up in the morning, sit down with my cup of coffee, cheers, and write down my goals and really think about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, trying to associate some intention behind all of my actions. I saw a lot of posts on social media from my friends that 2018 was not the best for them. I really hope that 2019 is a lot better for you guys. I know some people don't set New Year's resolutions or set goals or all of that kind of stuff. If you don't, that's fine. If you're already a goal setter, so am I, but maybe try to add in one goal to your resolutions. I feel like that just spices things up a bit. Let 2019 be the year for you. You can do it, you can work hard, just keep focused, keep grinding, or create habits of your actions. If you want to be more fit, if you want to be more healthy, make it a habit. Make it a habit to meal prep. Make it a habit to go to the gym every day. Once it's a habit, that's what you do. You're stuck doing it, you know? It's a habit for me to wake up and make coffee in the morning. You get to that point with all of your other goals as well. Just keep with it. I would love to chat with you guys about your goals that you're setting for 2019, how you're planning to dominate this year. If you have any tips for me that I could establish to help me reach my goals, I would love to hear them. Goal setting is my jam. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down or move along, brother or sister, because we don't need that negativity here. But I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I hope that some of my tips and tricks really help you in achieving your goals and us all becoming boss babes. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.